Hey everybody, welcome back to the LuckyDog Podcast. This is your host, Elias Roush. This podcast is sponsored by EliasRoushMedia.com, photo, video, digital media production. Today we are discussing Courage the Cowardly Dog, an old school classic I used to watch as an old man, as a young man. I wasn't old like Eustace. Bah! So Courage the Cowardly Dog is an animated comedy horror television series created by John R. Dilworth for Cartoon Network, and the eighth of the cartoons. It was produced by Dilworth's Animation Studios and Stretch Films, which is Stretch Films. The title character is an anthropomorphic dog who lives with an elderly couple in a farmhouse in the middle of nowhere, quote unquote nowhere, which is where they're currently located is nowhere, plus the town is called Nowhere. You get it? In each episode, the trio is thrown into bizarre, frequently disturbing, and often paranormal or supernatural type adventures. The series is known for its dark, surreal atmosphere and humor. So, I gotta tell you, growing up as a young man, I was not young man. I was a boy. I was a wee boy at this point. What was this? 99 or let me see. It first aired. Sorry, not 99. 96. So I probably didn't even watch it when it originally came on because I would have been about like 2 or 3 at that point. So yeah, I probably watched the reruns when they were coming on. But Courage the Cowardly Dog was one of those shows that would just traumatize the hell out of young E. I would always feel like it was like this smorgasbord of like horror and comedy that I just wasn't ready for, and normally it would knock me off my feet, whether it was like homages to older films that I hadn't even seen before, such as I don't want to do any spoilers yet for any of those people that haven't seen it, but ultimately Courage the Cowardly Dog is an excellent door for young adults to engage in humor and comedy, humor and horror in a way that is both engaging for the entire family. It's not just geared towards a young audience, which is why I really enjoyed it, probably as a young person and rewatching this first season. I will just put a preface that I watched this on HBO Max, and just looking at the titles, based on how they have it on what I'm using is Wikipedia to give the descriptions, is that they're shown in different order on HBO Max. So I'm going to give the original airings on here. So just to kind of give everybody a rundown of how we are normally doing this. This is Patreon, normally Patreon exclusive. So what we're going to do is have the first episode talked about on here. We're going to drop it on like YouTube and drop it on like Twitch and drop it like it's hot, wherever we got to drop it on. And then we'll have several more descriptions and episodes we'll cover for the next few episodes that will be exclusively for the Patreon, patreon.com/LuckyDog It's only $1 a month, and you cancel anytime. Heck, you can watch it once and cancel all the time, anytime you want. So, yeah, we are offering several more of the Courage of the Cowardly Dog reviews on the Patreon exclusive only, and we're going to drop probably the first episode and the last episode exclusive. Those won't be exclusive. We'll release those on YouTube. But yeah, that's just kind of how we're gonna have the little rundown this time. Once again, thank you to the patrons. Thank you to everyone on YouTube that has liked the videos. Thank you to everyone that has subscribed as well. We've had, I think, 10 subscribers in the last month, which is, y'all are killing it. Thank you for watching and engaging, and let me know how I can improve. Haven't gotten too much feedback on what not to do, so hopefully we're doing okay. If we're not, then you guys let me know. Here's the first thing you're going to critique me at is drinking water during the review. I don't even care. I don't even care. Whoa, what's happening? He doesn't even care. What's going to happen next? It's a review that has all these props and all these things going on. I'm just fucking with you. I'm trying to go to the next page. Okay, so the creator, Dilworth, pitched the series to Hanna-Barbera's animated shorts showcase What a Cartoon, and a pilot titled The Chicken from Outer Space aired on Cartoon Network on February 18th, 1996. The segment was nominated for an Academy Award, but lost to the Wallace and Gromit short film A Close Shave. I used to love Wallace and Gromit. I used to love the claymation of the. I felt like I kind of live a real life Wallace life now, based on like how the tech is in our world, and I felt like that guy was always inventing crazy shit. But anyways, we'll maybe talk about that another time. The short was greenlit to become a series, which premiered November 12th, 1999. Oh, it was 1999. So I might have actually watched this as when it originally came on. And it ended November 22nd, 2002. With 4 seasons, each consisting of 13 episodes during its run, which is pretty impressive. Looking at how condensed and how concise all of these little episodes are, only 22 minutes each, and they're basically each of them have 2 episodes, so it's only like 10-minute episodes. It's no wonder that it feels like the pacing is just phenomenal on these. There's no fat to trim, especially with no advertisements on this. This is the way to go. So what do we have over here? What do we have over here? Okay, so during its run, the series was nominated for 3 Golden Reel Awards and won one Annie Award. Merchandise based on the series has also been produced, such as home releases, toys, and clothing. This is also considered a black comedy and supernatural type show. Both I'd agree with, because this is a genre-bending show, which is episodic in a way that something crazy might happen in one episode that's not going to affect the second episode. It's like they just reset everything that happens. I'm pretty sure The Simpsons did something of the same. Like, people don't really age in the thing, and what happens in the first episode doesn't really affect what happens in the next episode. Could be wrong if The Simpsons actually had more serialized stuff. I'm actually not a Simpsons guy, so I'm like, it's a big blind spot in my TV watching. So yeah. It's created by John R. Dilworth, directed by John R. Dilworth. I think he did all the first episodes in the first season. The voices contained by Marty Grabstein. I believe he plays Courage. Thea White, which I believe probably plays Muriel, and Lionel Wilson, which I believe plays Eustace, and then Arthur Anderson plays Eustace, the 3rd and 4th season. Simon Pebble and then Paul Schiffer are in this as well. Love the opening thing of this. It's very concise and condensed and funny and visual, and so I like all those things. Composers Jody Gray, Andy Isrin. Don't really have any information on them, but I really love the atmospheric vibes they have during this show. Total of 52 episodes in 100, which is split into 102 segments, or individual stories. So it's distributed by Warner Brothers production company. Pilot was only done by Hanna-Barbera. Stretch Films did the rest. Let me see anything else that we need to know. Okay. Here is the premise of Courage the Cowardly Dog. Y'all are like, holy fuck, is this guy ever going to talk about the fucking show? Again, this is not for kids. This is for everyone else. This is the old millennial slacks like me. Okay, so we interrupt this program to bring you Courage, the Cowardly Dog Show, starring Courage, the Cowardly Dog. My voice is going to go immediately after doing all these voices, if I do any of these. Abandoned as a pup, he was found by Muriel, who lives in the middle of nowhere with her husband, Eustace. Bang! But creepy stuff happens in nowhere. It's up to Courage to save his new home. Bah! I'm not going to be able to do a Courage scream the entire time. It's literally just like an elongated like scream. Oh my gosh. So, you're like, oh my god, now that's instant dislike for that. Oh, I can feel my voice already going. All right, now I think that canceled 2 of the episodes trying to do that voice. Oh, 2 of the reviews. All right. Courage the Cowardly Dog follows Courage, a kind yet frightened dog. He was abandoned as a pup after his parents were forcibly sent into outer space by a crazed veterinarian. Holy shit. Soon after he was found in an alleyway by Muriel Bagg, friendly, sweet-natured Scottish woman who decides to take Courage as her own and was inspired by the nature of his first meeting to give him his first name. In the present, he lives with his now elderly Muriel and her elderly husband, Eustace Bagg. Lionel Wilson, yeah, he does the first 33 episodes. Arthur Wilson does the last 34 to 52 episodes. Eustace is a grumpy, selfish, and greedy farmer who regularly mistreats Courage out of jealousy and refers to him as a stupid dog. The entire family lives in a 2-floor isolated farmhouse in what consists of a large desert-like area in the middle of Kansas. The nearest town to the farmhouse is a fictional town with the literal name of Nowhere. I think we've covered most of this. So, Courage and his owners frequently encounter monsters, aliens, demons, mad scientists, zombies, vampires, and other perils such as the paranormal or supernatural. The pilot generally uses convictions common to horror films and tropes and stuff like that. Although most of the creatures that are the three-face are hostile. Most of the creatures that the three-face are hostile, although some only appear that way, but simply suffering from distress or acting in desperation, and can even turn out to be friendly to him. So not everyone in this world is terrible that approaches the family. The task of protecting Muriel and Eustace from dangers falls on Courage, whose endeavors to thwart and reconcile with the monster of the week and remedy of repair any damages done. Although Courage is occasionally aided with the task, that the full extent of his efforts is usually performed unbeknownst to Muriel and Eustace. Ironically, given his name, Courage may be considered a genuine hero who often goes to great lengths to protect his owners, and a genuine coward who still expresses much of his distress with the over-the-top, piercing shrieks. Although episodic in nature, there are a handful of recurring characters in the cast, including Courage's sarcastic, sentient computer played by Simon Pebble, the family physician, Dr. Vindaloo, played by Paul Schaefer, and a fortune teller telling Chihuahua named Shirley the Medium. Eustace's mother, Ma, played by Billy Lou Watt, villains Katz and LeQuack, both by Schaefer, and the antagonist Dai Long. So, yeah, before going into anything else, we'll probably just say, sound design's phenomenal on this. I think that's one of the biggest things about it is that it really puts you into suspense. It puts you in the place and the pacing of 10 minutes per episode. It's like you don't have time to dilly-dally around. Yeah, so it says, when deciding on sound effects, Dilworth tried to avoid pre-made stock sounds. He contributed a substantial amount of new material to the sound designer Michael Gessler, and only to look for the sounds that made him laugh. The composition of the series' music relied that was being portrayed suspense, comedy, or action. And I love it feels like sometimes you're watching a horror movie, sometimes it feels like you're watching an action movie, such as like Mission Impossible. It's like dun, 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 dun. It's Courage's theme is hilarious. Oh my goodness. So let me get this over here. Let's see. That was the chair, not me. I promise. Courage the Cowardly Dog was premiered as a short on 96, and then it premiered. Sorry, the short was in 96, and then premiered as a show in 99, and became the highest rated premiere in Cartoon Network history at the time. And yeah. So here is episode 1. So episode 1 it's 1A, and the way that they number the episodes is like 1A for the first episode, and then 1B would be the second episode within that 20-minute allotment. So this is 1A, based on when it aired, and this was actually episode 9 on HBO Max, which is kind of weird. I don't know why they put it on episode 9. Completely reordered it. Courage and his, this is episode 1, A Night at the Cat's Motel. Courage and his owner stop at a lonely motel to end their vacation, but it is owned by a nefarious red cat named Katz, who harbors a penchant for feeding his guests to giant spiders. So that kind of, like, I guess that kind of spoils it, but sorry about that. But anyways, yeah, from the first episode of this, if this was the first episode, oh my god, this wasn't the first one that I rewatched. This was the 9th, but if this was the first one, this would be just like mind blown to like have as a kid having to watch. For one, how many cartoons that are based off of people that are over the age of like 70? I'm assuming they're probably around 70, 80 years old. First of all, that just sounds mind-blowing in itself, having senior citizens as one of your 2 of your main 3 characters. That's kind of mind-blowing in itself. But then on top of that, the first episode has a peeping Tom of a cat in this fucking episode. I'm like, oh my gosh. And the whole premise is that this cat is running a motel and he's feeding guests to giant spiders. Like, that is just insane in itself. Having human skulls and bones all over the place in itself. Oh my gosh. Like, I couldn't even believe that they would go this far and call it a kid's show. Like, I cannot even, as the first episode, people must have been like, what the fuck? And on top of that, how many times do we see Muriel in a bath? And he's peeping Tom, he's being a peeping Tom on Muriel in a bath in the first episode. Oh my god! I'm just saying that this being the first episode, I would be like, this is next level, traumatizing on for the whole family, and it's a whole heaping hilarious. I mean, oh my gosh, I love this. Is a uh, he releases that spider. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, it gets me every time. Oh my god! So that would be traumatizing as fuck as a youngster like seeing that for the first time. I would just be oh my god. As an older person, I can watch this and be like, "This is hilarious." But watching this as a young person, I just gotta say, it's probably traumatizing. So from the design, the 2D design, the 2D design on the majority of the characters, there's always this new monster of the week, which I think is one of the most beneficial things about the show. It's like you never know what kind of craziness or shenanigans they're going to get into, and so as this episode continues, it's mostly these spiders being let out, almost getting Muriel. She's like trying to hold the spiders, like, and then like at one point Eustace is gotten, and I mean they're staying in room 666. There's like little hidden jokes in this own universe about like horror themes, horror tropes, and that type of things. So yeah, holy shit, it's hilarious and kind of ridiculous at the same time, and I can't believe this is the first episode that they showed. We're gonna have to come out swinging, is what they said. Uh, and so you had the cool cats. Like I love the cats. I love how every single one of the monsters or aliens or whatever the thing is of the week has their own like theme and has their own music. I love that. Cats has one of the cleanest ones, if I remember. Can't play it for you, otherwise I'd get the copyright. That's why I can only play like 30 seconds of the thing. But holy shit, there's so many fucking expressions that Courage makes when he's trying to like express how he's feeling. He turns into monsters and turns into like trying to describe different things, and he's like freaking out and doing just ridiculous things. And so that's the thing that I like about it. It's so unexpected. It's so random. The animation, it's not always it's clearly their first season, but they do a lot with it, and they go the extra mile to have like side jokes, like visual side jokes, just everywhere. So it's a visual feast, especially for an adult. Really looking for it, and even the slapstick humor I think works. Majority of it's still pretty funny, because it has to do with like throwing Eustace on the fucking cats. Oh my gosh. So yeah, it is another one, and I love how it's so unpredictable in a way. Unpredictable is like the key thing about this show. They don't half-ass it. So yeah, they end up having to play like wall ball uh, to get what's her face out, to get everybody out. And what is it? Courage about loses, and I think he gets whacked over the head by Muriel with a racket, just like, and so he gets fucked up, and so that's kind of the end of Cats. And generally, most of the monsters are disabled pretty bad, but a lot of them are like, "We'll be back." So yeah, and then we have the. I also gotta say, I love the the illustrations at the beginning of each of the episodes. I forgot to mention that. Of course, this is lagging over here when I'm trying to show this one. What reminded me of the illustrations was seeing the next episode's Cajun Granny Stew. And the wacky voices all these guys have just crack me up. Oh my gosh. Let me see. Can I wanted to see if I can find the Club Cats thing. Can you play for me today, iPad? Hey, iPad, can you play for me? iPad, can you play for me? I just want to see what it was. Skip intro. Nope. Eustace bag. I also noticed that the captions on the the captions on the intro were not always the same. Someone fucked up and put Eustace bag. Sorry, bang. Okay, yeah, Night at the Cat's Motel. Oh, that one doesn't even look good. It doesn't even have Club Cats on that. It's like a spider web with Courage the Cowardly Dog on top, and he's just scared. That doesn't tell enough about the the episode. You gotta have Club Cats on there. You really bucked up on that one. But yeah, Cajun Grandy Stew. Oh my gosh, this one's pretty funny. This one feels faster than the other ones. Some of the episodes feel really long, in my opinion. I guess because when they stay in one area, I generally feel like when they're moving different places, it feels like, wow, this has been a lot of an episode. It's like, I can't believe this has been 10 minutes and we've been to like 4 different locations. It feels like you've gone a lot of places as opposed to staying like one place. Feels like it normally takes a little bit longer, but that's just me. So yeah, this is episode 1B. Still episode 1, but the second side of it. One B. Cajun Granny Stew. An orange Cajun fox repeatedly tries to kidnap a sleepy Muriel so he can use her in a Cajun stew. Yeah, so a couple things about this episode is this one feels like a straight up Looney Tunes episode. I mean, some of the episodes literally they're whipping things out the ass, but this time they're literally whipping out like bombs, balloons, they're taking like random cars out of places, and I gotta say that this fox is pretty damn funny. I love his like Louisiana accent when he's like making all these things. He's like, I gotta get me a granny, and he just like will randomly be driving like a plow truck or something like that. And the only thing about this episode that I thought was a little bit lazy was having Muriel sleep the entire time. It feels kind of like a cop out for not having her really participate in the story. But I gotta say that the randomness of this allows the animators to have a lot of fun, and this fox I think is just hilarious, and he looks like the fucking Cheeto guys. Anybody think that? So yeah, so there's not much to this episode, I'll be honest, but it is fucking hilarious them just fucking with each other. It's straight up like Roadrunner and Coyote shit. But I think even funnier, and like this one does feel like a little bit longer to me actually now that I think about it, how many different places they go. But yeah, it's pretty fucking hilarious, I'm not gonna lie. Not too much to say about this one, but yeah, let me know what I can do to improve on the podcast. Oh, dude, like half the time, these guys are just like assaulting each other, like blank, but like whacking the fuck out of, like, people are getting really fucking hurt in this. Oh yeah, they literally go as far as hopping in a fucking like a taxi to a fucking helicopter. Him dressing like a fucking cop. Dude, he's going all the fucking places. And Courage has these little catchphrases. The things I do for love. I think. Yeah, I think that's what he says. So, yeah, it's a bloody good time. So yeah, let me know what I can do to improve on the podcast. Again, this is the first episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog. We are going to release the video versions on YouTube, first episode and last episode. So it'll be the last episode according to the way it aired. So the last episode of this one's going to be The Great Fusellini, I believe. Yeah, that's going to be the last one we're going to cover. Oh, with little Muriel. Yeah, that was the last episode. So, yeah, thank you for watching, listening. LuckyDog Podcast. LuckyDogPodcast.com. Check us out. Twitch live, YouTube for the video, SoundCloud for the mastered, Patreon for the early and the full library. $1, $2, $5 subscriber. All of it helps. Thumbs up, subscribe, follow. Jesus, why do they make so many of these fucking things you gotta do? Why can't you just say to support the thing? Just support the thing. So thank you for listening, watching LuckyDog Podcast. Take it easy.